Unmute. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, good. And you can also see my slides. So I have a very, I had to cut down a lot of things, a lot of information, and I shortened the slides to just 3 pages, 3 slides, because I learned that we have just 10 minutes to make this presentation. So my topic is about the extralegal city in post-COVID Global South. And the simple question is, what would the city look like in post-COVID era? And my simple answer is we have to first of all begin by understanding the nature of cities in the Global South. And looking at the Global South, I focused on Lagos, and I tried to apply the concept of the extralegal city to the Global South, focusing on Lagos. What is the extralegal city? When we talk about extralegality, we are talking about something that is beyond the province of law or not regulated by law, according to the Oxford English Dictionary. And there are 3 dimensions to this, according to Alan Smart and Filippo Zirilli. Extralegality has to do with informality, illegality, and the zone of legal uncertainties. Here we're talking about informality in terms of the lack of regulation, or the fact that the state does not actually receive taxes from particular cities. Then we are talking about illegality in terms of the sort of goods and services that are traded, the contrabands and all that, and the sort of non-state actors that are involved in these illegal activities. And then we also talk about the not yet legal, which more or less is the zone of legal uncertainty. And if we move into Lagos, we'll get this clearer. I think Lagos is the most populous city in Africa. It has about 15 to 21 million in population. It is also the commercial city of Nigeria, also its largest city in terms of population. And during the COVID, we've had information from New York Times that Africa is a continent where the dead are not counted. And that is a bit an exaggeration, but it's also a bit true, because some of the testing kits are not available in most countries in Africa. So there are lots of people who are dying, and these people are not counted. And that is why that picture of Africa is a bit not too exaggerated. And in Lagos in particular, which is the largest city in Nigeria, more than 1 in 5 persons are actually contracted COVID, according to the Nigeria's Disease Center for Disease Control. So it means that there are lots of infections rates, and these are not counted. And that's because of the weak healthcare system, and also the inefficient urban governance. So what are the sort of transformation we'll find in Lagos? We'll find it in 3 ways. Number 1, in the informal sector, informality. Lagos, 70% of the working population in Lagos are concentrated in the informal sector. And 95% of new jobs are created in the informal sector every year. 30% of those jobs are in the manufacturing, which is apparel manufacturing, leather and allied product manufacturing, wood product manufacturing, furniture, and all that. And another 30% are concentrated in transportation, which is the use of informal transportation, car, buses, motorcycles, tricycle, and taxis. And you talk about other sectors like the real estate, which are informally governed, the retail and wholesale trade, the movie industries, the building and construction. All these are managed in the informal sectors, more than 70% of it. So we have a total imbalance in terms of the number of people who are concentrated in the formal sector compared to the informal sector. And then also in the illegal aspect of the city, we're talking about street gangs who control most of the activities. And here, those who have visited Lagos know Agberos, who are actually the ones who control both the taxation system, and they don't remit this taxation back to the government, the city governance. So we see how much this year, an investigative reporting noted that about 123 billion naira generated by these Agberos were not remitted to the state and to the government, to the city, and the city itself loses that amount of money every year to these street gangs. So we also go down to the not yet legal or illegal, and Lagos is divided by the mainland and the island, with the mainland being the zone where the mostly poor people are concentrated, and the island being where the rich people are concentrated. And we'll see more of housing challenges in terms of zones of legal uncertainties, zones where people are no longer sure, they're not really sure of their occupancy, their right of occupancy in those areas. And we see since last year and the beginning of this year, we've seen a lot of demolitions of houses because of the drive to build a capital city, a mega city in Lagos. And so now these are the transformations that are ongoing. And the simple question is, since the city is this way, since the city is structured in this extra-legal way, with the informal and illegal and the legal uncertainties structuring the form that the city takes, what it will look like in the post-pandemic world. And my answer to it is that it would be a city where a lot of people get more and more into the informal and the illegal sectors. And why is it so? Because of poverty, because the economic system is changing, and Africa is one of the continents that has been affected by this pandemic, even if it is not pronounced, it is not voiced out a lot in the media, but a lot of people have lost their jobs in the formal sector, and they have to make do with jobs in the informal and illegal sectors. So why do these informal and illegal sectors exist? I think the two answers to that is, first of all, it is the inability of the political economy to provide sufficient affordable housing and employment when cities grow rapidly. And then the second reason is the inability of the governments to control informal and illegal solutions to those failures. So these are existing because of the inability of the government itself to control the informal and illegal solutions to the failures of the government to provide housing and employment opportunities for people. And we'll see this intensifying in the post-COVID era in Lagos, but also I think in different parts of Africa, where most cities are actually concentrated on the informal sector, as opposed to most cities in the global South, where things are more or less concentrated in the formal sector. So that is my conclusion, and I would be glad to answer some of your questions.